Hey guys, so you've probably heard of Kittl by now. It is a really cool graphic design application built into a web browser, so it's very accessible, especially for people that, when you're watching these print-on-demand videos or graphic design videos and you're thinking, I just don't know if this is for me. There looks like there's too much going on. Is this application one that I'm going to have to spend an hour or hours learning to use? Well, fortunately, generally speaking, if something like Kittl is built into a web browser, it tends to be pretty easy to use. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm using Kittl to make print-on-demand designs that sell, and I'm even going to show you other ways that you can monetize using Kittl. All right, so I'm excited to get started. Let's get right to it. Down in the description, you'll find a link so that you can go and join Kittl and get started using it for free. You can follow along with this video if you would like to. Also down in the description, I've got a link to my 8-day print-on-demand mini course, which helps you get started with the Etsy integration so that you can actually take these designs and make money off of them selling print-on-demand products completely free. And I've got a great print-on-demand Facebook group. You'll find a link to that in the description. All right, guys, once you've logged into Kittl, you'll see something like this. They have a dashboard where they just show you trending designs, but you can actually filter by logos. And actually, you know what? Why not just jump the gun? I was just going to throw this out there at the end of the video, but guys, like they have a logo maker that's very easy to use, very easy to customize, really nice looking logos. So why not jump on over to Fiverr and make yourself a Fiverr gig, charging whatever amount of money you think is fair to create a logo for people in the vintage style. I see nothing wrong with doing that. You know me, I'm always thinking, how can I monetize these things? This is an easy, low-hanging fruit. Labels here, t-shirts, posters, cards, and social media templates. All right, so there's a ton you can do with Kittl. You can also go to Craigslist, by the way, and you can advertise and market that you are able to, do graphic design and do custom work like this, and you can charge whatever you think is fair. So I just wanted to throw that out there because there's really, guys, you can join Fiverr right now, create that gig for free. You can go to Craigslist right now, create that gig for free. So there's no excuse. Now, I know that's not why most of you guys are even subscribed to my channel. It's probably because you like to sell print-on-demand products. So what I'm going to show you what I was working on earlier, how I make t-shirt designs. So one thing that you might want to do would make sense is to probably filter by t-shirts, but here's the thing, you don't actually have to do this. Earlier when I logged in and I was like, okay, time to make a Kittl video and show you guys how I've been using it lately, it actually just hit me with a pop-up right when I logged in with a couple really nice looking designs that I think were just recently created, and I ended up clicking one of them because I really liked it. I liked the niche. I'm going to show you it in a second, but just wanted to throw it out there. You don't have to use the t-shirt templates or t-shirt designs. I don't even know if calling it a template is the right thing, because what I'm saying is you can use any of these and still work with them on a t-shirt. If you like the way it's designed, it doesn't have to be tagged as a t-shirt in Kittl for you to use it as such. So here's, by the way, you can go to newsfeed and you can actually follow creators on Kittl. So I just wanted to show you guys this also, since this is the first Kittl video I've done on the channel. You can kind of keep up with people that you want to follow. For instance, our friend Juna here at Detour Shirts had published this one here, this beach bum design. Also Kittl, the official Kittl account is constantly publishing stuff as well. So you can go ahead and follow people. You can find creators over here on the sidebar as well. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's a pretty cool way of collaborating and building a real community vibe here on Kittl. Now, this is the design that I had seen when I initially logged in, and I was like, damn, I really like this. It's nothing too crazy, but I feel like this could translate well into a t-shirt. Also, I don't know, for some reason I'm like, okay, we could put this on maybe a black t-shirt or a dark brown t-shirt, maybe even like a dark heather gray, and I think it would look really good. Also, I don't know about you guys, but when I think of like transitioning out of summer into fall, pumpkin spice lattes, not that I go and drink a lot of Starbucks or anything like that. By the way, I'm not hating on Starbucks or anything, but like, man, it takes so long to get a cup of coffee when you factor in like driving, standing in line, waiting for it, driving back. I don't know. It's a long time, but hey, maybe you live above a Starbucks or something like that, and I would not fault you for drinking a lot of them. Anyways, pumpkin spice lattes. I'd be lying if I hadn't already told you we've listed, me and Marielle, we split our new Etsy shop. We've already listed some coffee designs, some latte designs as we prepare for fall. So when I saw this, I was like, this is perfect, just given the time of year. Let's do a coffee design. And by the way, those of you guys that are already subscribed to my channel and you've been watching these videos for a while, you know I like to keep things simple because you don't get paid extra money for spending extra time ultimately it's the end result of our efforts, right? Regardless of if it took us 5 minutes or 5 hours to create a design. Now this one in its current state took me about 5 seconds, not even 5 minutes, but I was going to show you kind of my thought process on how I went about creating just one design, but I can also just kind of talk you through how I'd translate this into more than one design. So I went over to Pretty Merch research tab and I searched for the word coffee. Now I could niche this down even further if I wanted to go into specifically like pumpkin spice lattes or something like that. But I just, I like to start kind of high level, and then if I need to not broaden, what's the opposite of broaden? Like just niche down a little bit, refine my searches, then I would enter more like long tail keywords. But I ended up seeing this coffee, teach, repeat design here. And while I'm not actually trying to like recreate the design, I'm just saying, okay, I like that it has, it's a nice coffee design. It's got a great BSR, 102,000. Recent BSR change, 18,000 drop. So that's actually a great trend. Recently uploaded, so I love that as well. So, hey, this sounds like it could be a winner, and it basically fits the design template that we're working with here in Kittl that's already basically pre-made for us. So it says coffee, teach, repeat. Now, I'm going to take a couple things from that design. For one, I'm going to switch the text up. By the way, I'm kind of hiding. I guess I could try like moving myself over to the other corner. I'll be on the left side of the video for now. You didn't know I could do that, did you? Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is this top layer. I'm going to click the eyeball and hide it, okay? Otherwise, when you try to click into the design, you're going to end up just clicking that top grungy layer. And that grungy layer is not really serving me any use anyways, because I want to export this for use on a t-shirt. Now, I think it makes this design look really good, really grungy. But if I were to export this design as is and put it on a t-shirt, it's going to be like a square, right? And it's going to have the background color, it's going to have the grungy effect, and I don't think floating square designs look good on t-shirts 99% of the time, unless they're like photos or something. Or unless you're like a graphic designer with a very high degree of skill, which I'm not going to pretend to have. So over there on the layers panel, behind where I normally am in these videos, I'm going to turn off a lot of these elements. I'm going to turn off, for instance, the death, the coffin, because I don't think that fits how I want to use this design. So I'm going to turn that off, turn the coffin off. The next one is the coffee guy. I'm going to turn him back on later, okay? Now when I click, I get the actual text, all right? So now I'm going to go back over here, and what I'm thinking we'll do is we'll make it say coffee, teach, repeat. All right, this is nothing crazy. This can honestly be accomplished very quickly. And like I said, whether it takes you 5 minutes or 5 hours to make a good design, a good design is a good design, and a sale is a sale. So coffee is the first word. Then the next one's going to say teach, and we'll revisit teach, I think, and then repeat. All right, so there we go. We've got coffee, teach, repeat. I might actually move the word coffee a little bit, and eventually we'll turn on this layer of the coffee animated guy. But I wanted to, just based on what I see here from one of the best selling like coffee plus teacher, cross niche designs here, they have the word teach kind of in a different font, a different color. Now we don't have to copy it exactly. We're not even really copying it, but I'm just saying, let's take a hint, right? Like it's one thing to see this through the lens of, oh man, this is what this original artwork did and we need to do it exactly like they did it. That's one way of saying it. But another is, hey, like customers had a lot of options with what to buy, right? They had a lot of options, probably hundreds. And this is the one that many of them are opting to purchase. Perhaps this is the customer's indirect way of telling us when they like a certain design style. So I'm not saying we copy anything. I'm just saying, hey, maybe we make the word teach just a little different, all right? So maybe we'll switch up the font family here. Earlier I was looking and I told myself I wasn't gonna forget the name of the font, but I have in fact done that. It's one that I've used before. I think it was called Knee-Wave. Yeah, Knee-Wave. I like this font. I've used it in previous designs, honestly. Whoops. By the way, you can hit Control-Z and roll things back the same way you would in Windows. I don't know what you would do in Mac. Probably something similar. All right, let's use the Knee-Wave font. By the way, it's easy to like move these things around. You can add like font effects, like borders, change the color, all that stuff really easily in Kittl. I don't know if I want to make this video super long, but I was planning on doing a second video. And I'm thinking while I prep for that video, I may also do like a sample order and just show how some of these more vintage style designs, as many of the designs on Kittl are kind of vintagey, how they actually show on a t-shirt when they're printed on the final product. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do something like that for the future if I do another video, which I'm leaning towards doing. So it says copy, teach, repeat. If I wanted to spend more time kind of changing things up, switching the text around, I could do that. Or, you know, since I love just doing things quickly, just enable this graphic. It looks like I'm gonna have to make a couple changes because the graphic is, you know, hanging over top of the repeat. So I could move him over here to the left a little bit if I wanted to. You know, we definitely have some flexibility, some freedom here with how we want to make this look. I could make this word teach just kind of lined up a little bit further over. Whatever we think looks best, I guess. What do you think? Maybe move the word repeat over a little bit. There we go. I think that looks okay. Maybe move the word coffee back a little bit. Coffee, teach, repeat. I think it looks good, guys. So now we need to download it so that we can then sell it. What I would recommend doing is, for one, there's some elements in the background here that I would turn off. Like there's more grungy elements. And like I said, I don't want like a random square that's very obviously a square on the t-shirt that we're selling ultimately, right? So I'm going to turn off some of these extra layers. All right. And if you're not sure what they do, you can just kind of toggle them on and off and see what disappears. So I've got the paint splotches. I actually like how those look. So I'm going to keep those. The background you can either turn off here, or when you download, just click the download button up in the top right. Okay. Click the download button, and I think the default size was like 1,000 pixel width by 1,000 pixel height, which is not exactly going to work for how I want to use this for download purposes. So I switched it to 4,500, and then you can see it changed the height automatically. Well, I can show you. So if I do 1,000 here, it automatically changed the height there. But I'll do 4,500. You can play around with changing the DPI also if you would like to do that. I'm just going to leave it as is. And I have the remove background enabled, but by default that was not selected. So you may need to go ahead and manually, I would just suggest just like always turn that on if you're about to export this so that you can sell it on a t-shirt. Alternatively, like I said, you can just turn off the background layer down there under layers. Then go ahead and click under for digital use, PNG. So go ahead and click that. Now, what I have already done preemptively is I've uploaded this. Well, I've already downloaded it and uploaded it to Merch by Amazon. So you can see right here that the cool thing is, you guys remember how Merch by Amazon used to be? We'd have to render everything in the 4,500 by 5,400 size. Now we don't need to do that. So it's not going to be an issue that this Kittl template we were using is square. Merch just lets us drag and drop the square designs. Now, the default that this had, here, I'm zoomed in quite a bit. Let me zoom out. Also, I'm going to move myself on the video back to the other side. There we go. So by default, it had the design down here in the middle. And if you guys watch like a lot of my Redbubble shop review videos, that's one thing I'm always dinging people on. For some reason, a lot of Redbubble people are putting their designs just kind of floating awkwardly in the middle of the chest, vertically speaking. I prefer to move that up towards the top of the shirt. That's what we're more used to seeing. I went ahead, I selected black. I think it's going to look great. Maybe asphalt. Actually, asphalt's looking really good there too. By the way, if you want to stand out, like, oh, it's a coffee shirt, right? Or a coffee/teacher niche shirt. These are huge niches. Sometimes it's okay to say, hey, I'm only going to select one color. How many shirts out there in search results are going to be asphalt? Because if most people are selecting asphalt, they're also selecting black. And you already know if you make black available, Amazon Merch is going to default it to black. So why not just do asphalt in this case? I think it looks great. You know, got my price points down here. Go down, publish it, and see what happens, guys. So I also just wanted to show you before I wrap this video up, but that's how I would publish a design straight out of Kittl to Merch by Amazon in minutes. I made a second design here from scratch, and I know it's not as impressive as pretty much anything else you'll find on Kittl, but I was just trying to show you guys that, like, I did this from absolute scratch. So I was like, okay, we have a lot of vintagey look and feel to the stuff in Kittl, a lot of the graphic assets. Let me make my own version in about 60 seconds. So I got some gears, I got a ribbon, and I was easily able to add that kind of climbing effect to the text. When you click the text layer, you can actually see behind me here, the transformations are already available. So I clicked Rise, and when you click Rise, guys, you can actually play around with how the text, how the text is actually going to look in terms of like how it's going to be laid out. It's crazy they were able to build this into a web browser. It's very impressive. I mean, it's kind of like warped my brain. I don't know from a web developer perspective how they ended up actually doing this. Some sort of like a browser plugin maybe. I don't know. I know nobody cares. Yeah, okay. So using HTML5 canvas, that's really cool. Whoever built this, man, well done. Tip of the hat to you developers. All right, I think I made this video about as long as I intended to make it, guys, but please check out Kittl. You're not going to regret it. I'm also working on launching a fun design challenge with them, so you'll hear more about that from me in the future. I'll also update the links in the description with more information about that, because there will be prizes involved. So that'll get you introduced to Kittl. You can have some fun with the theme of the challenge, which I picked the theme, so you already know I'm gonna like it. Hopefully you will as well. And that's it, guys. Check them out. The link is at the top of the description. Also, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video.